Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. We got a couple pickups to go through. Let's go. Rick Owens pod shorts, dark shadow, 60% poly, 30% cotton fabric. Really interesting dye and potentially wax. They almost look like leather. They have like a really unique texture and feel to them. Cargo pocket, fit pretty cool. Plastic buttons, good crotch. Really crispy, really satisfying. Next up, Balenciaga Billboard hoodie. I am always curious on Balenciaga's quality and blocks. I try to stay somewhat up to date with it. This one is like a few seasons old. Features a lot of logos. They're all embroidered. The embroidery is really clean on it. The fabric is a medium weight terry. It's not super nice, but it's not shitty either. It features some kind of garment dye or wash on it. It's kind of cropped, logos throughout. Doesn't have any drawstrings. Kind of a tiny hood. Next up, we got this beanie. This is from the Viridi. It features a raw hem on the bottom that rolls up. This pretty nice yarn with this inconsistent knit and then a little slit on the back. It's definitely like an avant-garde beanie. Little hole on the top as well. It's really lightweight and thin. Definitely more of an indoors beanie, which I appreciate. Viridi beanie. Next up, we got a couple pieces from Unsound 2.0. First one is a quad XL Russell hoodie. Kind of like a high school football. Got a little Native American on it. Back graphic as well. A lot of times a Russell hoodie will say it's quad XL, but it'll be tiny. This one actually fits really good. I like the random awkwardly placed chest logo. Good sentiment on the back. Vetements 2018 split zipper hoodie. This thing is kind of a piece of work, I can't lie. Got half the Bridges graphic, half Antwerpen graphic on it. 100% cotton terry. Dual action. Coil zipper. It doesn't have ribbing on the cuffs and the sleeves are mega long. Hood is kind of nice. Is this drip? Next two t-shirts are layering t-shirts. 3XL Hanes Beefy, faded black, shout out to Fernando. Got kind of a sad print on it. XL, Fruit of the Loom, cool screen print on the front, little screen print on the back. These next items are from Final Home, shout out to Victor, he sent them over to me. I recently gained a new appreciation for it. Survival pants, dual action zippers, lead into pockets down the entire leg. All their stuff is made out of this Oxford nylon, which is kind of dull, kind of lustrous, survival jacket / parka. They made them in a bunch of different colorways. Pockets all throughout. Kanye-esque hood. It has pockets on the hood. An asymmetrical zip gimp pullover anorak. Features their custom snow camo on it. It's pretty cool. They made their own camo. Shout out to issey miyake. Apocalyptic pieces. It fits pretty good. It's cool. Definitely ahead of its time. Also, cool branding. An NPC t-shirt. It happens to be though on one of my favorite vintage blanks, Screen Star's Best. 50 cotton, 50 poly. These break in nicely and the neck doesn't really stretch out. Shout out to Remnants vintage. These have been my pickups. Let's continue with the video.
Nothing wrong with a cooked pair of Ramones, but I just didn't have much faith in these left. There's no traction. I picked up a pair of Rick Owens Mega Bumper Ramones in oiled calf leather from Spring Summer 2025 Hollywood. New daily drivers. Driving a lot of these. This is a 1980s Joy Division Unknown Pleasures crew neck. Kind of like a almost paper thin condition. I have a ton of Sisters of Mercy tees now. This one is from the album First and Last and Always. This is a 1990s Depeche Mode tour tee. Pretty thin, kind of weird shape. Merciful Hate tour tee. 1990s Typo Negative. Slow, deep, and hard. 2017 Memphis Pods in a poly nylon cotton blend. Cyclops Mega Shorts. Rick Owens Bella shorts in SBW, which is stretch black wax denim. Rick's Pods in mineral black, which is this pretty fire, dark, off black color. Rick Owens Pod shorts in the embroidered geometric pattern. Cyclops, more interesting random vintage tees. This is just a vintage tee as seen on Mr. Cacti Jackie. Rick Owens Sisyphus oversized work shirt, super long line. If you're getting into drop crotch, this is perfect for that. Honestly, you can just go to the Rick store and you get put on like 10 years ahead of everyone if you're 15. Double up if you like Mitch Modes, 2 Anarchy tees, Immortal tee, 90s, I think. Oh, who cares, bro? Hell is Other People, Manic Street Preachers tee. You like Raph? Right here. 1990s Body Electric, Sisters of Mercy tee, Emperor Wrath of the Tyrant, Rick Owens, Beal Bozo, Tractor Boots, looking like early 90s. I can just tell.
This is the new Remnants studio, soon to be Empire. 1960s, 1970s. I believe it's called just like an OG 107. Patches from that time. This is like a fucked up thrash like Black Widow t-shirt. I'm not into like the heavy metal stuff, but I thought this graphic was cool. New York City Ballet, Pulled at the Rag, Death Was Our Business t-shirt. Got some good stains down there I couldn't get out. 1997, Oregon State University College of Pharmacy. RX. They made promethazine, the Danner like hiking style, but this color is really cool, kind of like a gray, like brown. Some 1970s, also like Danner style, like hiking boots. Just a random bag I found thrifting around with my mom. Some cheetah print in there. You can also roll that bitch. Good Carhartt Thrasher. These ones that actually came from Kourtney Kardashian. This is a good one right here. Exposed trap neck on a 1960s BVD blank. A crazy blueberry Rolex times Jaguar. You don't see these every day. Previously moldy t-shirt that also has some casual little holes in it. Maybe rat chewed. Shotgun hole in the stomach. This is a good one if you're trying to expose the belly button. I would imagine this was probably came off of the back of a hump. I'm not really sure how it got some of this like staining on it. I'm not really sure what it is. It looks like rust, and I don't know how you're around that much rust. This has definitely got some just like good rust. This is a t-shirt that I bought for my friend that he said that his dad told him that the dude most likely cut off the sleeve and wiped his used it as toilet paper, maybe in an inconvenient time where he had to use the restroom, either maybe on the side of the road or weird amount of distressing, a lot of negative space use in here. Basically where the garment is no longer present. Check me out at www.remnantsvintage.com. Check out some of my reels that will be going up soon of Jacob rocking these assless chaps right here.
This is a calm.
This is a calm Sunday fit. On God, I feel like cardio.
Starts in my toes and I crinkle my nose. Wherever it goes, I always know that you make me smile. Please stay for a while now. Just take.
Those are for swimming, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Take the shirt off.
Take the shirt off?
Yeah, are you swimming with a fucking shirt on? Take the shirt off.
What?
Yeah, those are mad nice. What?
Beep, 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 beep.
Pack straight from Strong Izzo. This is for like when I hit the gym. 10XLs. These are probably my favorite Balenciaga shoes just because they're so like unpractical. It's like the smartest thing, bro. They make dirty shoes, you can't even like fuck them up. You know, the ultra flats for when I'm on like my lazy day. The Chrome Farts sample shirt, front and back print, you know, CF. The runway, padded shoulder, made the bridges burn. Yeah, so the crop top, it just fits me better, honestly. And the hood is low-key crazy, it's huge. The classics, these are everydays, low-key. Mr. Nando, that's twin. Little blank chrome, vintage zip up from the front. It's just a zip up. From the back, you see it. The good vet, Dragon Ball anime. You can see little Vegeta right here. The Japanese inspiration. But this is just pajamas. Now I'm getting personal. This for the archive heads, margiela reference jacket. Hey, if you can't pronounce it, that's how you know. It's for all my geeks. Tokyo Ghoul, mix that with the Rick. Yeah, this is my girl's hat. You know, I borrow her clothes here and there.
Did it come like that?
It was like super black, honestly, but I feel like balenciaga hats, they like fade over time. I feel like bro made them like that on purpose. This is when I'm gonna get groceries or check the mail real quick. Nothing even special. This is the reference for Coming Soon. This is low-key one of the GOATs. Purpose album. If you live in LA, you know it rains. That I know you ain't seen the unicorn shit. I haven't seen it. It might be fake.
I've seen it.
If you stay in LA, this is like a small cafe. They collabed with Balenciaga. Pretty cool food, affordable. I recommend the strawberries.
In the middle of the field, throw me a bomb, throwing that bitch like quarterback. Standing in the field, holding the bomb, throwing that hoe like quarterback. Standing in the field, holding me a bomb, throwing that hoe like quarterback.
Get 2 launchers. Extreme dash burst. A normal Beyblade game is 25 points. If you first 2 points. If you spin finish, that's 1 point. And like 2 points. Undefeated LA champ.
For real?
No, I'm lucky ass, bro.
Alright. Yeah, the year's 2009. I have a camcorder, got a soccer ball. Start making a YouTube channel, start pumping out videos. I think I was 12. Fast forward, we're in 2012. I'm in high school. I'm starting to care about what I wear. I started a new fashion YouTube channel, mainly because I didn't find content online covering designer items. There's a store in Michigan called Revive that carried all those brands, and they honestly put me on. I remember first looking at Rick, and I was like too scared to touch it, and I was like, interesting, but I didn't really get it. In high school, I was all about the raw denim, nudie jeans, APC. I was honestly just like glazing Kanye fits probably at the time. Moving forward, we're in Chicago for a year. I was there for school. I was really hyped to be able to go to RSVP gallery. I was into like Cavamp, Saint Laurent. That's where I bought like my first combat boots. And shortly after that, I moved to LA. I went to USC. Fast forward 1 year later, Jacob moves to LA. We're making some content. So at this point, I'm in my second year at school. I wouldn't go to class because instead I would choose to hang out with Jacob, Phoenix, David, Luke. I go into math class. There's this little pipsqueak. Oh, he's not gonna like that. And his name's Trevor Gorgie. He chops it up. So I would text Trevor being like, yo, like what's the homework? Or yo, is there a quiz? I was honestly helping Trevor just send me his homework and I could copy it. He was not trying to help, bro. When I was like sitting in the back of like classrooms, buying a bunch of number 9 jeans, number 9 tees, like undercover stuff. I would just like keep a couple things here and there. I honestly just did it for like YouTube content. And then I was like, word, I should probably like make a website for this. And then I asked Jake, I was like, yo, you think I should like make an archive store? And he was like, yeah, you should do it. And then I was like, okay, word. So let me look at what's out there. There was 2 main ones that were kind of like the original blueprint. In my opinion, were Empty Room Archives, Horror Vacuo. I mainly started it as a way to get hands-on, like look at clothes that in my opinion were at like the highest level and something I could have like as a basis to learn from. And then I also wanted to just like share the information and knowledge I was learning from all of it. Did that for a couple months independently, and then I was like, I'm trying to ramp it up, like I'm gonna need an intern. And then I remember Trevor was down. He interned for like 6 months and then he quit. So Jacob and I move. Trevor's running NKST and he's figuring out where he wants to take Fugazi. So I need an intern. I post a story, I think. Dude responds, Ty.Cito. He pulls up, he starts helping me for like a month. Then there's Francis Barrera, Spawn. This is kind of like how Unsound was birthed. I had a bunch of vintage tees I was buying, and I was like, let me take what I learned from like running like the e-com and everything about running an archive store and apply that to vintage. Because I think there's like a gap in the market. Originally started just like a bunch of personals. Was surprised that people were like open and interested in buying them. Once it started to work, we're like bleaching Levi's, we're releasing hems, paint splatters, we're selling like weird quote tees, and for some reason like people are responding pretty well to it. At some point, Trevor and I split an office in the arts district of LA, and this is kind of like the location where everything just starts growing at like a pretty insane rate. Hiring a new person like every 3-4 months. Those next 5 years are just a big blur to me now. Probably the most insane event. It's a Sunday morning. I get a text from Greg Ross. He's saying Ye wants to buy pretty much everything I have. And I'm like, okay. I pull up to the studio, Ty shows up. I'm like texting Greg, I'm like, you want pictures of everything? Like, I don't really get it. He's like, nah, just anything black in these sizes, like, we'll take it. They just bought everything. Pretty much over the course of 5 years, it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of wins and a lot of losses. And it got to a point this time last year where there was like signs that I needed to make difficult choices and changes to the business. Essentially, I had to cut down the team to me. This is the team. That was probably the hardest first 6 months to figure out what to do. I developed a hatred for vintage at this point because I was just like, there's so many clones, like there's so many options for people to buy a similar product. Luckily, I had spent enough time away from it, cleansing it, finding like a new objective to go for. It's always been the same thing. I just love black clothes. I want to sell black clothes. I want to sell band shirts that ideally are only bands I like. I'm trying to keep it true, which I feel like when Unsound was just pumping a lot of inventory every single month, it was just stuff, and like there's stuff for everyone, which I understand is cool, but I want it to be a lot more personal. So the new vision, sell more black clothes, sell good tees, try and keep it trim with the good blanks, with the good sizes, with the good designer selects, every now and then archive some 2000s items like track jackets that I personally really am into. In the next couple months, then I'll start dropping like mainline product.
We're here at the Jerks pop-up at 194 and Varsity Vintage with Mills. I'm wearing a Valence jacket, Jacob shorts, and some sweats with some Solomons. It's not a laughing matter.
From Jacob, thank you. V3. I think it's the hoodie. Compass hoodie? Pants. I gotta wear them with bulky shoes, so I have here my Vans, nice and bulky. I'll be back. Jacob stared at this on his computer for about 8 months. And there's like, I think 15 different sample variations with like a slightly tweaked compass. They all look the exact same to me, but this is what we ended up with. Coming to a website near you, jacob.com. I know this next video is probably a pickups video. Keep the belt. This is what I really wanted to show. Come on now. And then the hat. Look at the brim, making waves. See you in New York. Fernando's still never been to the store.
I've been super addicted to Whatnot. I bought like 3 things, and it's been like really stupid shit that I really don't need. So I think it's 98 Resident Evil 2 shirt. But this one I did not get first too. I was like on edibles. Dior jacket. I had one, but then I sold it and I really miss it and I needed it back. 90s bomber, like original owner, threw these patches on. The Celtic Frost. I don't support this man's politics. Made some really good fucking music. This one's sick. I now have 3 of the 4 of this set. This is the other one. And then the purple one I think I showed last time. The Burning Witches. It's just an Emperor shirt. I don't even know the year. I don't really know anything about this one. Hellraiser, hardcore, like, rave events in the 90s. I think it's Dutch. They would have a guy dressed up as Hellraiser with effects, like chainsawing people's legs off and stuff during the set. Little light flares. I keep staining them. I keep fucking dripping on them. What is that? Maybe ketchup? These ones are pressed apples. They're really nice. But we got like stopped in the middle of the freeway and a jet fuel truck fell over and I walked into the oils. Jeans up to here were just covered in jet fuel. I think it's since 2003, but it's like sticky. It's like supposed to be like blood. Cathedral, the long sleeve. Got some fucking Supreme, bro. This is the first Supreme thing I've bought in like 10 years. But honestly, kind of did their thing with it. What is it, second or third album? It's got all the band members on the back. I don't think it's supposed to be weed, but I always just think it's weed. Shout out Joe Rogan. This is a 96 one. I've only seen one other. Nuclear Blast. It's like one of the biggest metal record labels. Human Equals Garbage, Dystopia. Great album.
Drinking hazel. Is it the other way? Is it the other way?
Like it kind of reminds me of like Kid Cuisine. It's like gooey in all the right ways. Let me put you guys on. This shit. Skim milk, water, cheddar cheese, potassium chloride. Looks pretty good to me.
Always cut towards yourself.
You stay with the Kiko.
Morning leather in the heels like Eddie. I'm rockin' baguettes. You niggas is petty. You bitches is petty. I'm coming through ready. I come with machetes. I'm cutting shit up. I feel the betrayal already.
First, I am music tacos. Got a little bit of Cardi sauce on there.
So we all know.
You're a big Cardi guy.
I don't think I don't think anyone knows that.
How are you feeling about the new Cardi?
Greatest album for a generation. Jordan Carter did not disappoint. Cardi went 30 for 30. No misses.
So this is pretty much a little business that I run under the name of Cut and Dried Service, and it's majority used clothing all the way from the 30s up to like the early 2000s. Primarily just selling in person to store owners, online store owners. There's like an actual culture. If you look up this dude, there's like gnarly documentation on him. 60s shirt, it came from an orphanage. These are like 40s US Army prisoner of war pants. And they're usually like only like one set of stencils, and this has 3. So there's this one right here. It's got the good like US Army zinc buttons. 40s. The back has like 2 layers of the PW stencil. Talk about baggy, homie.
Oh shit.
A funky 60s joint between White Stag. It's like an official one with them and Picasso.
Gerbode.
It's just a Letterman, but it's a Letterman from Long Beach, Jordan, which is a high school in the city that I was born and raised in. It's just like a good personal piece, and I also found it in LA at a rag house.
We're at the Rosebowl here with Fernando and Lucas Cage Garcia. That's the vibes.
It's
Get the head.
Yeah, it's kind of free chunk right here.
How much are those running you?
Stretchable. 5K. How does that even happen? How do they even do that? How does that happen?
Maybe they don't make them like they used to.
Every stain tells a story. This is a burger. This is probably a pizza. No, these are actually really cool. These are Big Smith. 1960s.
How do you know that?
You can just tell. You can feel it. The zipper, you can tell. You hear that? That's a 60 zipper. You can just tell.
The rag house?
You can't fuck with this one.